When Ethan Caldwell founded Caldwell Luxury Retail, he built it on one principle: luxury should never mean arrogance. His stores sold high-end watches, designer bags, and tailored suits. Celebrities shopped there, athletes, executives. But lately, Ethan had been reading something disturbing in customer reviews. They judge you the second you walk in. If you don't look rich, they ignore you. Security followed my husband the entire time. Sales were strong. Profits were climbing. But something felt rotten underneath the shine. So Ethan decided to test it himself. No tailored suit. No $40,000 watch. No chauffeur. Instead, Ethan wore faded jeans, scuffed sneakers, and a plain hoodie. He left his Rolex at home and drove his old college sedan to the most profitable Caldwell store in downtown Chicago. To everyone else, he looked like a man who couldn't afford the window display. Perfect. The moment he walked in, he felt it. Not a greeting, not a smile, a stare. One sales associate glanced at him, then leaned toward another employee and whispered something. They both smirked. Ethan walked slowly toward the watch section, the most expensive area in the store. A salesman approached a well-dressed couple nearby immediately. "Welcome to Caldwell," he said warmly. "Let me show you our newest arrivals." Ethan stood just 5 feet away, invisible. After several minutes, Ethan politely asked, "Can I see that piece in the display?" He pointed to a limited edition Swiss watch priced at $28,000. The sales associate barely looked at him. "That one?" she said skeptically. "Yes." She hesitated. "That model is very expensive." Ethan kept his voice calm. "I'm aware." She forced a thin smile. "We usually show that to serious buyers." The words hung in the air. "I am a serious buyer," he replied evenly. Before she could answer, a tall security guard slowly walked over. Not rushed, not aggressive, but clearly positioned near Ethan. Watching him, another employee approached. "Sir, are you looking for something more affordable?" Ethan looked around at the marble floors, the crystal lighting, the polished glass cases. "I'm looking at that watch." The security guard stepped closer. "Sir, we've had issues with people touching merchandise they can't purchase." Ethan blinked slowly. "Are you suggesting something?" The guard didn't smile. "I'm suggesting if you're not planning to buy, you shouldn't waste staff time." Couple nearby stared. Ethan felt dozens of eyes on him, judging, measuring, dismissing. He decided to push further. "I'd like to try it on." The sales associate crossed her arms. "I don't think that's necessary." Security placed a firm hand near Ethan's shoulder. "Sir, I'm going to have to ask you to leave." Silence spread across the store. "For what reason?" Ethan asked calmly. "We reserve the right to refuse service." The words were cold, final. Customers pretended not to watch, but everyone was listening. The security guard guided Ethan toward the exit. Not violently, but publicly, humiliatingly. As the glass doors shut behind him, Ethan stood on the sidewalk for a moment. He wasn't angry. He was disappointed, because this wasn't one rude employee. This was culture, and culture starts at the top, which meant he had allowed this. 10 minutes later, a black executive SUV pulled up in front of the store. Out stepped Ethan Caldwell, this time in a tailored navy suit, polished shoes, and the very Rolex he had left at home. The same security guard opened the door for him instantly. "Good afternoon, sir." Ethan walked in without speaking. The store manager rushed forward, smiling confidently. "Mr. Caldwell, what an honor." Ethan raised a hand. "Call your entire staff, now." Within minutes, every employee stood frozen in the center of the showroom. The sales associate who refused him service stared at the floor. The security guard went pale. Ethan spoke calmly. 30 minutes ago, I walked into this store dressed like this." He held up his hoodie. "I was ignored, mocked, followed, and escorted out. No one moved. You assumed I wasn't wealthy enough to deserve respect." The silence was suffocating. A customer near the entrance slowly pulled out their phone, recording. Ethan looked directly at the security guard. You removed the founder of this company from his own store. The guard's hands trembled. I didn't know. That's the problem, Ethan interrupted firmly. You shouldn't need to know. The manager was suspended pending full review. The sales associate was terminated. Mandatory retraining was ordered company-wide. But Ethan wasn't finished. He turned to the customers still inside the store. If anyone here has ever felt judged inside these walls, I apologize personally. A quiet murmur moved through the room. Luxury without humility is failure, he continued. And we failed today. Within weeks, a new policy appeared at every Caldwell location. Respect is not based on appearance. Sales didn't drop. They increased because word spread quickly. The story of the broke customer, who turned out to be the CEO, went viral online. But Ethan didn't care about going viral. He cared about restoring something more valuable than profit. Character, because the true cost of arrogance is losing the very people you're trying to impress.